And once again, we are joined by the great Paul Redmond, leading Irish MMA veteran. He's been in every promotion in the world at this stage, a veteran of the UFC, Bellator, KSW, Cage Warriors, so many others. And Paul, we've just heard the news that you have parted ways with Bellator. Can you give us some insight on this? It's quite a shock for us, as we would have saw you as one of the very prominent fighters from Ireland and in Europe in general on the roster.
Yeah, I don't think. So the way you put it, no, the way you put it is, like I haven't been sort of dropped, or I haven't been let go. While the promotion is still up and running full swing. My contract ended there in February. So it was a 2-year contract of 4 fights, and it expired. And with all things COVID going forward, there doesn't seem to be a lot of shows happening in Europe or anywhere really, with this whole coronavirus thing going on. So they just said, look, we're not going to renew your contract at the minute. We're back over. I'm more than happy to get the fight and go from there.
So in a way, it's kind of leaving the door open there. If there is cards in Europe in the future, it's just right now they can't guarantee those European dates. Is that the case?
Yeah, that's all. And sort of, I was speaking to Jude and that, and they were saying, like, we're more than happy to get you on again. That's not the case. It's just a case of we don't know when we're going to be back in Europe. So what's the point in all the guys on the sidelines? Maybe they could have kept me on for the American shows or whatever. I do have the visas, the work visas for America. I've got them. So look, I don't know, but that's where we're at anyways.
How frustrating is that, Paul? Obviously with the year that's been in it as well, it's been tough for everyone, and you guys, not being able to train as much as you'd like. It seems like it's a bit of a nightmare.
Sorry, I was just laughing at your cup there, Red, by the way. I don't want you to think I was laughing at you. Your cup is fantastic. Beautiful.
So, I think we've been training. I've been training my hardest. I'm out flat out running the roads, doing my strength conditioning, going for 75, 100k cycles every other day of the week or whatever. So I'm still training pretty hard. In that respect, but it's not the same as a fight camp, it's not the same as regular 2 sessions a day, the whole lot. So it's tricky. But the whole coronavirus COVID thing has been tricky on everyone, and you're right in saying it's frustrating. But to be honest, I was talking to Pete the other day, and he was just asking me, frustrated with everything that's going on. I'm saying we've been here before, my whole career has been sort of, I would say, frustrating. Or certain things don't go your way through your whole career, and you just have to get on with it, So that's where we're at. We're just getting on. We'll see what comes up next.
How would you look back on your spell with Bellator, Red? Like, I mean, is it did it go the way you wanted? Do you only have fond memories of it, or how do you feel when you look back at that 2-year stint?
Do you know what? I really enjoyed working with Bellator. I actually thought they were a really good organisation. There's no bullshit about it. They didn't want you to do anything extraordinary. I wouldn't say, when I say extraordinary, like, they're not asking you, they're not bringing you, harassing you to do like media things here and there or whatever. You get your fight, you go down on the day, on the media day beforehand, that's fight week, and you do the business, and that's that. Everybody's nice as can be down there. I get on with everyone in the organisation. Absolutely no malice in it whatsoever, and it's just one of those circumstances that happen, and I will thank Jude and all the guys, Scott Coker and Mike and all. They were great to me. With Bellator, they paid me well. They got me fights it was after. But looking back on it, me myself, maybe I could have performed a bit better, But then in saying that, then of a winning record with Bellator, I'm 2-1. I know Charlie Leary had a good win against Kiefer, which was turned out to be a cracking fight. It was one of the best rounds we were saying of last year, 2020. So I think Charlie had moved up in the rankings to number 6, and I think I'm still down at maybe 11 or 12. So, and then I have a win over Charlie. So it's just little things like that. It irks me a little bit, you know, that you have a good win over somebody and maybe you don't see it, or I don't know. But like I said, it's out my control. But the only thing I sort of regret is my performance against Georgia. I was still trying to, like I said this before when I was on the bash, which is a while ago. I was just doing too much. I regret working so hard coming into that fight and maybe not taking a little step back with work and training a bit more and that type of sort of that I needed to do with my training. But I paid for it. It's a loss in my record, and that's that.
I sort of going, is there mass, like, you know, you talked about the frustrations there, but, you know, maybe the Bellator not understands that, you know, you are, and we've talked about this before in the past, just at the last interview we did, that, you know, maybe the popularity you have in this country and the support you have amongst the fan base, because I was pretty shocked when I heard that news, and considering some of the other guys maybe they've kept around that we're still aware are still signed to Bellator and you're not.
Yeah, it's, you know, like I'd never turn around and say that guy is still signed ahead of me, or you know, why is that guy still there and I'm not? You know, that's trying to take away from somebody else's whatever they're doing. Like, so I can only focus on myself, you know. And if they just feel that way with my contract, you know, no problem. It's I don't. It's just one of those things.
Having experienced losing my job during COVID, I know how horrible it can feel. I mean, the lack of options that are out there. But I think it's in a better situation, say, than if this happened last year, say in May, June of last year, when everything was beginning to close. Like, I feel like we're in a situation now where the likes of Brave are putting on shows. There's guys from the UK going out there. UAE Warriors also taking people from the UK and Ireland and bringing them out there. KSW. Lots of options. Obviously, Cage Warriors still there as well, with Irish fighters there. There is a lot of options here. I mean, what are you most keen to do here, Red? When, like, I can remember a few times we talked to you about this, and you were talking about time on the clock, etc. How long do we have left? All this kind of stuff. Is that playing into your mind with a view to signing on with these promotions again? Are you very much still all feet in the MMA game?
No, I'm still all feet in. I've after coming off the Georgie loss, you know, I had to reevaluate things in terms of my lifestyle. Not that I was doing anything wrong or anything like that, just in terms of work and training. I just wanted to get everything on to where I was before, to where I was getting good quality training sessions, not turning up to the training session wrecked and bollocks and tired, you know. But going forward, I think I have all that sorted. So I think my performances going forward are going to be better performances than maybe my last out and my last show. And I don't think I ever got to show the full potential that, you know, I'm more than capable of doing with Bellator than I have in other promotions, you know. So that'll always haunt me a little bit, that I never got the show that what I'm capable of. But then going forward, you know, like you said, there's options there. What we're going to do yet, I don't know. So we'll see what's sort of going to happen now in the next couple of weeks. See if anyone's interested. See what way the land lies.
Why was that Why did that not? You know, why do you feel as though you didn't get to show your true potential? Was it because you were working as well? You know, were you not putting enough time in?
There's a couple of variables there. I was putting in as much. I was putting in the time. I was in the sessions. We'd say. I was there in body when you're sort of fatigued and exhausted going into sessions. You're not getting a good 100% down me in there. You know, we're probably training at about 50%. That's not taking away anything or George's win or anything. That's, again, I've always said I would do that. But just me, you know, as a person, I know myself what I'm capable of. I know the finishes that I'm capable of, and they didn't come true in Bellator. I had a good win against Charlie. I went in there injured and I was sick all week. I still got the win, but I didn't get a finish. I had a really good fight against Jesus Santos. I think a year prior to that. I tried to finish the guy maybe 20 times in the fight, and it just didn't come off. So finishes are there. I know I am a finisher. Like the Bellator only put up there a finishing statistic that I'm a 66% finisher. I think I've 15 wins, 10 of them are finishes, 5 of them are TKOs, and 5 of them are submissions. So I know how to finish guys in there, and just maybe haven't coming off the last year or so.
Fair enough.
Is it like when I think about Rhino with Bellator, I can't help but feel like, you know, it could have been handled better. Like, I mean, from the Miles Price Peter Queally situation, I know a lot of people had Keith McCabe winning against Phil Mulpeter in that fight. Then we have you with 2 wins, one against Charlie Leary, as we talked about. And now, am I right in thinking that there's no representation from Team Rhino now in Bellator? And it just doesn't feel like maybe it could have been handled differently. You know, I just can't help but feel like they should be still represented there. Is there any kind of feeling like that within the camp or anything like that?
Not at the minute. Like I said, I've no animosity or I've no ill will towards Bellator. You know, contract was up. They didn't want to renew. It wasn't. It is what it is. There. Would I still like to be fighting on Bellator? Yes, it's a good company to work for. It's you know, one of the biggest out there at the minute. But you're right in saying there's no Team Rhino guys on that show anymore.
Wow.
So it's just frustrating. That's frustrating. No.
That's crazy.
So what's jumping out at you, Paul? Like, I mean, is there anything that's kind of going? You know, you become a free agent.
Shows and fights.
Yeah, like, you know, it is quite an exciting time as well, and I'm glad when I text you, that's the way it seemed to be, the way you are thinking. You're like, this is opportunity. You can't look at it as like hardship. You know, there is a lot going on here. KSW just have a new lightweight champion that I feel like someone like you needs to verify. Like, they need to get a name in like you to fight someone like this to prove how good this guy is. Same with Brave. I've been looking up all these lightweight champions just to give myself.
Who's the lightweight champion in Brave? It's that guy that fought Whiteford, is it? Lucas Martins?
No, he's based in the Middle East. I think he might be Brazilian, but he's been based out there for a while. His name is not coming right now, but he had he's had 2 defenses, but not against names like yours. Like, I feel like that's what your value is for me here. Like, all of these guys have been are like obviously champions of the promotions, but they haven't got them big marquee names that they've gone against to verify them. And I always think, like, when they bring in someone like you to fight one of these champions who are maybe looking to bolster their stock, there's a huge amount of opportunity on your side of that card, because if you go in and win, then you're the champion and you're taking on all comers there. I'm just wondering, have you had a little look around, and is there anything jumping out at you just yet, or do you not want to give up your hand at the negotiation table here?
Well, you know, to be honest, I actually haven't had a look around yet. I know we'll probably send some out. Send some emails out this week. And we'll see what goes. We'll see what happens from there. But as of yet, no, I haven't really. I haven't sort of touched base with any organisations yet. It's still only sort of fresh news from that.
What's your relationship like with KSW still? Obviously, you fought for them before. Have you still a good relationship with Martin Lewandowski and those guys?
Yeah, so, all right. So I text Martin when the Bellator thing had came around. I said, you know, there's a big thing happening on in Europe. I know you guys treat me unbelievably well. I said, look, I think there's an opportunity there for me to do something here. Do you mind if I sort of head over? And that's exactly how I said it. Martin was being such a nice guy that he is, and I've said it on your podcast and a few others as well. He texts me back straight away. He says, if you feel that's the right decision for you, we're more than happy to let you go out of your contract. Only you're going to know what's best for you. And I says, look, thanks guys for having me. I said, it's been unbelievable, and can't thank you enough. He says, and he did say, you know, if you ever knocking about again, give us a shout. So that could be an option, all right.
That would be great. Obviously, you had that loss, but I mean, that dude that you fought was upsetting the apple cart left, right, and centre, right? That lad was, he was so, like, it was very hard to predict how that fight, those lads' fights would go. But when he did show up,
I don't know how many fights he had after that. Did he have he had one against Szynski, and Szynski panned him out. How many did he have in between?
Skaczynski was the guy's name, right?
Jeez, you're putting us on the spot here with all the stats, Red, aren't you?
So I
You're
followed
putting
these.
doing
Get
that.
me on the bash, family.
He's got
is he?
the
Yeah.
bare knuckle, Red. What about you on the bare knuckle? Can we get you signed up? Would you fight
Not
Jake Paul?
into it. I'm not into
good
it.
man.
We am not into
We
it.
talked about that
Not
before.
into
Yeah, good man. Good man.
I was talking to Artem in the fucking Free Arena, and he was just saying, you know, the guys are paying me, and it's more or less the same as MMA. And I was like, Artem, it's not the same as MMA. Like, every fire comes out ripped in two. I was like, fuck off, Artem, you know. But
Him
he
and
says
Jason House.
it's good.
Him and
It's
Jason.
just nasty. It's brutal.
Bloody crazy stuff.
Real thread. You're perfectly safe there with him. The floor is yours. Call him.
Fuck off. I'm not into it. It's not for me, you know.
Yeah.
It really isn't. I like grappling too much. Fuck that.
Fair enough. Red, I have to ask you, what's Andy said about all this as well? Because Andy even said, and I remember you guys started a podcast just before the pandemic. Andy sort of wanted you to retire. Has there been conversations with Andy since then? Well, obviously.
No, so I'll tell you exactly where it was. So off the back of the Georgia thing there last year, the Georgia loss, I was still trying to work and I had other stuff going on in my life that, you know, you get to my age, mid-30s, early 30s, and you're thinking, right, house mortgage, all that type of stuff that needs to be sort of addressed in your later life. So I was looking.
Who you telling?
I was looking at, I was looking down them avenues, and I was, the banks were saying, you know, you got to do this a bit more than you're doing that. That's where I was caught. I was caught between a rock and a hard place. And I said it to Andy. I said, look, you know, I don't think I'm going to compete anymore, Andy, with the way I have to work and what they're expecting me out of the banks. Andy said, look, he says, I think I'm mad. He says, I think you have it to go all the way. And he says, well, look, he says, see how you feel about it and go from there. So I sort of sat on it that I wasn't really going to compete again. And then I reworked what I was doing in my own work and my training. And in the last 6 months, I've been training flat to the mat, and I've actually been loving it again. I love going to training sessions,
Brilliant.
love going sparring, energized and sparring. I'm not going to the session fucked, coming out fucked. You're going to the session tired, and all you want to do is do the minimum amount of rounds to get out of there, so go home and fucking sleep. Like that's shouldn't be what your training session is. So I'm enjoying it again. I'm really enjoying it. And I asked, and you know, can we get a fight? And then the second I asked about getting fights, we get dropped. So it's just,
Oh God.
it's just one of them things, you know.
Fuck yeah.
But that's where I'm at now. I'm loving training again. I really am. I'm especially with the new lads coming through. You know, Adam Darby and that had a couple of fights there booked for Clan Wars there Saturday just gone. Lewis, a few of the guys out of the gym, Preston and that. And so I was training hard with them. You know, giving Darby some hard rounds. I was doing my strength and conditioning with him. I was out running the roads with him, and I felt like I was in training camp again, and I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, I think I'm a long way off retiring. Yeah.
Coach Redzer though, the thoughts there, and you're getting the itch for the coaching.
It's you know what? I don't think I think like I'll never be a head coach. It's not a responsibility I would want. You know, even years down the road, if you know, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
I would never be a head coach. Never want to be a head coach. I wouldn't want all that responsibility. What I do like is I like training with the lads, and they all seem to ask me about nutrition questions and, you know, fitness questions and some jiu-jitsu questions. Obviously, you know, having black belt off Andy and stuff. But I love helping them out. I love seeing where they're going wrong or what they think that the right way is to do. So I'd be asking them, you know, how much weight do you have to go for? Like, yeah, you're cooked. They're like 5-6 kilos. I'm like, what are you eating? Oh, I'm just eating fucking Greek yogurt with this, and this. We stop there. We're gonna fix that in about 2 weeks. and I help them out, and they think, "How? What did you just do?" And it's nothing. So it's funny. I just because I made all those mistakes years ago, and I just used to read and read and read about how to weight cut and what was best for it, and yeah, I just think it's funny when I do that with the lads. So I get a good kick out of it, get a good buzz out of it.
The little things.
I'm really excited about Adam Darby. Ever, like, you know, from his young amateur days, big, rangy lad, big knockout power. I know you work very closely with him. I know he has a fight coming up with John Bourne. You mentioned there on Clan Wars. They postponed it till April now, as far as I know. That's a rematch.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, how close is he to going pro, Red? Because that's a dude himself.
That was pro.
Sheen,
That was
guys like
that was the debut pro. That was debut
Oh, was
pro.
it? That was
The two
his pro
lads were going
debut.
at it.
Wow. Wow, so that
Yeah,
is going to
so-
be his pro debut in April now. Is it late April they're looking at?
Yeah, if that's when they match it, yeah, that's when when Adam is going pro. And anyways, I think
That's a very
he has a
exciting
big
time
future
for
ahead.
Rhino, right?
Yeah, I think Adam. Well, it just goes to show you, like the new lads coming through. Like all right, so we're talking about, you know, how many years am I going to do this for, and the new lads coming through. So there's your changing in the game. You see it right through Irish MMA as well. Like some of the guys like Paul Hughes and that coming through there are already getting shouts for Cage Warriors belts and stuff. So there's very much a change in the Irish MMA scene, and it's great. Like, it's great that all these new faces are coming through. We've got plenty in the gym. There, you know, Adam Darby would probably be the freshest face on the scene coming out that's gone pro in our gym. James Sheen was struggling with an injury there just before Christmas. He was due to fight Cage Warriors and broke his ankle in a freak, stupid, silly accident that just happened. He twisted his ankle in wrestling,
Oh, no.
and he broke some. Yeah, it was just something silly, and he was
Shite.
supposed to fight a week later. So he's on the mend now. So I can't wait to see that guy back. We've got Graham Sheen then as well. He's another killer. So I hope he goes pro in maybe a year or two. Got Adam coming through, Lewis Bourne. So it's very much an exciting time for Irish MMA.
Definitely.
Can I ask you how you feel about Ian Gary now? He's been put in this welterweight tournament. Paul Hughes, who you just mentioned. I guess they're the most prominent young guns on the scene at the moment, right? A lot of people look at that path from Cage Warriors to the UFC, and those guys are kind of the youngest guys in them title situations. What do you think of these dudes?
Yeah, killers. You know, Ian and James for many years ago now, about a year and a half ago now, would it be?
2 years, yeah.
2 years ago.
2 years,
2 years
must be,
ago.
yeah.
So 2 years, that's a long time. I think Ian's made strides in his career. It was unfortunate that someone had to lose that night. James actually blew out his knee in the first exchange. So it was a weird one, but Ian's got been going on. You know, he's killing guys out there at the minute. I'd like to see a step up in competition for him. You know, because he's walking through whoever Cage Warriors is giving him, but there is a competition out there that he could give him. And he's been asking for it too. He's been coming on the mic after, you know, I want to do the harder fight, so more power to him. I think Paul Hughes is maybe a fight or two away from catching that bantamweight title or featherweight.
Featherweight, yeah. Morgan Charrier.
Featherweight, yeah, sorry.
Featherweight, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of fights there, and I think he will eventually be the Cage Warriors champion. I think he has all the talent. He's good. And he's clued in. He seems to want to train, you know, seems to want to fight. He's calling out all these guys. He's had a fight tonight on his last out as well. So, guy's a killer. And he's young. He's very young too. Like, I only started training, I don't even think I could throw a punch when I was 22 years of age. And that's when I walked into Andy's, was 22.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I only took it unbelievably late. And that's what I say to Adam Darby and stuff. They come from sort of like a kickboxing background from a younger age. Adam's only turned 21 there a couple of weeks ago, and it's giving you hard rounds in the gym. He's not easy to take down. It's, you know, he's thereabouts. He's already entering pro. He didn't come pro till he was 25, like, you know. So all these guys are hitting the ground running at that 22. 2 or 3 years, you're going to see prime Darby and James Sheen and stuff. And they've got the world ahead of them going into the big leagues at 23, 24 years of age.
That's crazy.
That's amazing, man. That's gotten me very excited, I have to say, for the next few years in this sport. How is it, like, I mean, your life, Redder, was all about being outside, right? You're either fighting in front of a load of people, or in a gym with a load of lads training, or DJing at the weekends. What's happened to the DJing?
Playing golf.
Nothing. Hang on, I'll show you now. Oh, hang on, I can't move the out. There's me decks there anyway, so I just rock around the house. Makes no sense. Like, I do miss it a lot, but you know, we're gonna have to open back up sometime. It's
a joke.
We'll get back out onto the dance floors, yeah.
She took up golf at 22. You took up fighting at 22.
No, I took up golf last year.
Yeah, you'll be on the European tour now in a couple of years, surely. No.
Yeah. Well, look, it's better than sitting in your gaff doing fuck off. You know, you need to be out doing something. You need to be keeping your mind active. And I think looking on half the social media posts out there, the whole mental health and all, it seems to be a big issue at the minute. I think you just need to keep the mind active. Just keep doing something that just takes your head off other stuff that's going on in your life. We all have shit that's going on. But if you just keep your mind active, man, do a bit of training, do a bit of golfing, whatever you find that you like doing, go do it. You know?
Bit of golf, can't beat it, Red. Can't beat it. I'll have to whoop your ass one of these days now, and we'll go out.
Do you play golf now?
I'm a wizard. Go to my Instagram there, and you see me getting a hole in one and all. Never seen that one.
Well, you fuck off. You've seen that.
You've seen that, have you?
Wanker.
I'll go on. I'll whoop your ass. Don't worry about that. I'll teach you. I'll teach you around the golf courses, around the nooks and crannies. Don't worry about that.
we get the bash playing 19 holes going, will we?
Yeah, PT can caddy. I'll be the referee.
I'll drive around.
Throw the beers to us. Why not?
I haven't worn about a year. You have to wear trousers when you go and play golf, don't you?
Yeah.
So that might be an article in itself. Might have to go down and get a new wire for myself, you know?
Are you carrying a little COVID belly, are you?
No, I'm not doing too bad. I've been running, but I see like you running, and you see your time, and I'm like, this prick is about to go to the Olympics. I don't know how the fuck he's doing this.
And then
put up your time, and I'll be like, it's like 40 minutes on a 10K, and he's like, nah, that's shite, mate. And I'm like, well, Jesus Christ, I'm not going to show you.
It's different strokes for different folks. Like I said, once you're out and actually running, it makes no odds. So, like, then we keep comparing yourself to somebody else.
As a pro athlete now as well, is that what you say? I can say, like, I'm yeah, man, it put me to shame. I don't know how the fuck you run that quickly. I'm like going so slow. I have like grannies lapping me and all when I'm going around the park. So I mean,
I used to be so bad. I used to be fucking terrible at running. I didn't know how to do it. I used to run and like fucking be like Converse runners or something. Now you'd be getting the shin splints, hamstrings, all be broke up, and then the likes of Andy and that be sitting you down, bringing it out to there's a good place
the
back at Ashtown to run. Now, well, the Hills and Hout's a great run.
Jeez, Andy looks ripped. I've never seen Andy look. I've never seen Andy in that shape.
He is
unbelievable.
Andy actually brought us out on the 75k on Saturday. I just went up. It's when we went on the cycles. Yeah, no problem. So me and two of the lads went up on the Saturday to his house. Went out. Thought we were going to do like 50 maybe. And ended up doing 70 up over hills, cross country out, Rush, Skerries, Lusk, all those places. So then the next day he texts me, "You're going to go back out tomorrow. We're just going to do good, nice and handy, legs are feeling." Went out, made the first stop off. You're having just a quick coffee. Then he says, "I will just go down here. And I'm like, "That's probably about 60k down." So I'm talking, yeah, like, so when you go down the long way, it's like 60k. We got about 70k in. He says, fuck it, we do the 100. All right. So he's training like a 25-year-old at the minute. And he looks great.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He looks unbelievable, man. He's lost. Like, I never realised he was carrying so much weight because he's so bulky. But then when you see
I didn't either. But then, like, he'd always walk into the gym and he'd try and lift. He would lift 250 kilos, squatting, ass to grass on his back.
Jeez.
And there's videos of it up on his YouTube, his Facebook, and Instagram and stuff. And I'll be like, that's nuts, like 250 kilos. And he'd be saying, I should be able to get that for reps. Like, no, you know, leave the 250 kilos at home. So Yeah, he stopped lifting massive weights because he said his knees were killing him, and he's gone to more cardio. He's gone down to more cardio. He's still lifting weights, and he's still on the mats doing a bit. It's just, I think he's just overtraining again.
Jeez, he'd be back in there soon as well. The two of yous.
Putting LTV Ryan.
Andy had fucked Pudzianowski up.
I went back against him.
Yeah, it wouldn't. That death stare, Jesus Christ, the Andy Ryan stare scares the bollocks out of me.
But he's such a for such an imposing dude. He's so nice, you know what I mean? Like he was talking to me recently, and he's giving me advice on running and everything.
Right, you know what? Andy's like a plethora of information. Like I do fun anytime we go away, like anywhere really. He'll know the history behind stuff, and he'll go research things. So I think we were away in Portugal doing training camp one year, went down where the Columbus set sail for America off the side of Portugal. He was able to tell me which side it was on and why they did it here. And, you know, just a plethora of information. The likes of that, if he gets into something, so he's really enjoying cycling. He goes and finds out, you know, the best bikes. Why is that the best bike? Why do I need that bike for my body type? Why he'd be texting me, you know, go into this website and have a look at that bike, get them together, and we go, you know, so we get into things. He's a wealth of knowledge.
Legend.
Can I ask you one more question before you go, Paul? It's something that a lot of people said to me following McGregor's fight with Poirier, and the question is would you, like, if you were asked, would you go in and train with Conor? Because a lot of people were saying that, like, you know, all of you guys used to train together, and one of the biggest changes from when Conor was at the pinnacle of his career to now is the same people aren't there. Like the likes of Paddy doesn't train anymore. Siri, who used to be in the gym, doesn't train anymore. Carl Pendred's retired. Chris Fields is in a different team. You guys used to all be there. Like, if an offer came your way to do something like that, would you go? And would you be interested in something like that?
I've never really been asked. Well, look, I've never been asked. I've trained with Conor a couple of times before. It was never a big deal. Just put me on the spot now, Pete. Yeah, I mean, it's just MMA. Why not?
Yeah.
No, I was just wondering, because that was one of the names people kept saying to me, like, because, you know, everybody was basically out at that time, right? And it just felt like people were free. So I just wanted to ask you about it. Sorry for dropping a big one on you there. Just a
bombshell. No, I mean, like I said, I've trained with Conor a couple of times before. Hits like a truck. You know, I think the first time I'd sparred him, he's obviously he's a southpaw, and I was really more grappling based back then. And my hands weren't. I really wasn't confident in my hands at all. I remember him just reaching out, grabbing me sort of wrist as we're sparring, hits me a back left hand, catches me in the eye, head comes back and hits me the exact same left hand in the exact same spot. It like, couldn't have been any picture perfect twice. I remember going home with a big black eye that day. But yeah, it's sparring, isn't it? That's what it is. But yeah, I haven't really thought about it. But yeah,
you couldn't miss your head trying to punch it anyway.
No.
Oh, fucking abuse.
It's banter.
He's all talk when he's behind the mic on the bash, you know what I mean? Then you see him out. Oh, all right, Razor, what's the story? How are you? Yeah.
But that's all we have
for now.
We love you very much, and we hope that we find a new home for your beautiful fighting style soon. I know a lot of our mates would love to see you in Bellator, and that's a disappointment, but I'm sure we'll see you back in there soon somewhere, my friend.
We'll be back in there somewhere, like always. We're always on the big shows. Yeah, we'll be back soon enough.
Nice one, Red.
Thanks, man. Great to speak to you again.
100%, lads. Enjoy. Be safe with all COVID and all that crap.
Nice.
All the best to you and your family, man. Talk to you soon.
Nice one, Paul.
See you later.
Hello, guys. If you want to hear more of The Bash, you can subscribe to us on all our wonderful channels on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and all that other shit.
And click the links below. Click the links below, the notification button. It comes straight to your phone if we've any fresh content. And also hit the subscribe button. It does help. You're some plonker.
It's very serious.